All right, if you've been waiting for the right moment to buy a new construction home in Sacramento, this is it. This is the moment that buyers have been waiting years for.
Builders are dropping massive incentives right now. We're talking interest rates in the 3s and 4s with 20K to 50K in credits, paid closing costs, upgrades already done.
And we're not just telling you about this. If you stick around until the very end, we're actually going to be walking you through 3 real homes, including the one that we're standing in right now, that you can actually purchase right now that qualify for these amazing incentives and these huge deep discounts, so you can see exactly what these deals look like before you start touring.
So if you're moving in 2025 or early 2026, these next few minutes could save you a lot of money. All right, so here's a little bit of the quick backstory. Builders have spent the last couple of years planning for huge demand. And then back in the middle of 2022, interest rates flipped the market on its head. That left a lot of builders with finished homes or nearly finished homes sitting way longer than they wanted. And they do not want that inventory rolling into the next quarter, or worse, the next fiscal year. So instead of dropping prices, which hurts future comps, they're stacking incentives that look like this: permanent rate buydowns, flex credits, closing cost coverage, appliances, blinds, even sometimes furniture included. We have even seen some builders offering to credit towards some of all of the backyard landscaping. So what does that mean for you? The bottom line is buyers finally have some leverage. Now, Lance is gonna break down where we have seen some of the craziest and most consistent incentives for 2025 and going into 2026. And so make sure you stick around to the end of this video, because we are gonna tour 3 different homes that have some killer deals to close out this year strong.
All right, so before we jump into the next section where we're gonna break down all the incentives across the Sacramento Metro, if this is your first time to the channel, we're Lance and Lauren with the Living in Sacramento team, where we break down what it's really like living and moving to the greater Sacramento Metro. So if you're thinking about making the move, or you want some more information about some of the new construction homes that we're gonna be highlighting on this video today, all of our contact information is gonna be pinned below in the chat and also down in the description. So what we're gonna do first and foremost is we're gonna break down exactly what some of the builders are offering and where some of the best opportunities are in the Sacramento region. All right, now the first builder that we're gonna be highlighting on this video today is going to be Richmond American. Now the beautiful thing about Richmond American is that they are located across the entire Sacramento region, and they have been one of the builders this year that has been consistently offering a great incentive rate or a great interest rate for the most part, with their own internal interest rate buy down. So permanent interest rate buy downs that have been happening all of 2025 and going into 2026. Now the cool thing is we're going to be taking you out to one of their model homes that's going to be actually out in their new community out at Liberty in Lincoln, California, which is going to be a master plan community that has a clubhouse, it has a pool, it has a gym facility. Now we don't see too many of those communities out here in general, but this is going to be a really nice one. Now the cool thing about Richmond American is they do have about 10 different communities across the entire Sacramento region, all of them at different price points and all of them in different areas. So a couple of the cool ones, like I said, we're going to be taking you out to Liberty. We're going to be showing you one of my favorite floor plans out there. Lauren's going to actually be taking you through that here shortly. A couple of the other ones, they do actually have a brand new community that's out here in Grass Valley. We don't really see too many builds happening out in Grass Valley, but that's going to be their Loma Rica Ranch. These are going to be super nice homes. Grass Valley is a very beautiful, wooded area that has a lot of very cute character and charm. We've never really featured Grass Valley on this video. It is about an hour away from Sacramento, but super cool. We're going to take you out to Liberty here in a little bit. They also have some communities out in Plumas Lake, at Riverton North and Riverton South. They have Amoruso Ranch, which is out in Roseville. We feature that one. They have one community in Rancho Cordova. They're also going to have another community out at Rancho Murrieta, and then they have a community out in Elk Grove. So depending on what you're looking for, depending on what you're liking, Richmond American is going to have something at all different price points, ranging as low as the low 500s all the way up to the mid 700K price point. Now, the cool thing is the promo that they have going on right now is they can offer 3.99% fixed interest rate on FHA and VA loans. We've also seen them get some conventional loans at 4.5% or 4.85% and have some closing cost credits. So right now, interest rates currently are around 6.3 to 6.5%. So a 3.99 to a 4.5 or a 4.75% interest rate is killer. Sometimes we don't even really see those interest rates. We may not see those interest rates in a long time, but that's a really nice incentive. And sometimes you can still get some closing cost credits added onto that. Now, the next community that has also been super consistent with interest rate buy downs, closing cost credits, Flex Cash is going to be their sister company, or I guess their parent company now as of the first, but that's going to be Woodside Homes. Now, Woodside Homes is also going to have several locations throughout the greater Sacramento region or the Northern California region. Specifically, they're going to have communities located in Rancho Cordova, Folsom Ranch, West Roseville, Granite Bay, and they're also going to have a development that's also going to be out at the Liberty Ranch community directly next door to the Richmond American ones that we're taking you out to a little bit later. But a lot of Woodside incentives this year are going to specifically apply to quick move-in homes that are already completed. So right now we're seeing Flex Cash credits that are ranging anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 in flex savings. So sometimes we've been able to negotiate this up a little bit higher than the 30 to 40K range. But what a lot of people are tending to do with that $40,000 Flex Cash is they are using it towards also a permanent rate buy down. You can use it towards an interest rate buy down, or heck, you can even take it off of the purchase price depending on where they're at in the build cycle. So Rancho Cordova, West Roseville, Lincoln, Folsom, Granite Bay, Folsom Ranch, you have a lot of different options. Woodside consistently builds a really beautiful quality home that it looks stunning on the inside and on the outside. So great customer service experience, super awesome interest rate incentives, and that has been pretty consistent throughout of 2025 and hopefully going into 2026. Now, this is also one of the things that we tell you guys, if you're thinking about going to visit one of these new construction developments, make sure that you guys reach out to us because we do have to be with you on your very first visit. That's a rule in California that these builders are requiring. So if you want any type of agent representation and you don't want to have to pay the fee of having a buyer's agent throughout the transaction process, the builders are paying the buyer fee as long as you're taking us out there on your very first visit. Now, we have had some stories where some of you guys go out to the builder. Sometimes they aren't telling you about the incentives. Sometimes they aren't telling you that some of these incentives are tied to the lender, and you guys are missing out on $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 off of the purchase price or an interest rate buy down. So we have had that story happen a couple of times where somebody has gone to a builder. They didn't get the incentives that we talk about here on the video, and that's because they didn't have an agent go out there with them. So whether it's us as your agents or anyone else, make sure you have that agent go out there on your very first visit so that way you're getting the best deal, the best prices, and the best negotiation, because sometimes we do know which builders that you can actually push on and sometimes we know which ones that you can't. Now, the third builder that we're featuring on my list is one of my favorite local builders to the Sacramento area, and that is going to be JMC Homes. Now, JMC is only going to be located in two major suburbs that we feature on this channel. The first one's going to be Roseville and the other one is going to be Rockland out in Whitney Ranch. Now, the Roseville communities, they're going to have a few communities down here in the Solaire region. They're going to have a couple of communities that we featured just recently on the channel. They are just opening up the Placer 1 development. They're going to have 14 different model homes out there at Placer 1. They have a few communities out that they're closing out in Winding Creek, and they also have a few communities that they're closing out in Whitney Ranch. A little bit more of the luxury style homes that you see out in Rockland, out in Whitney Ranch, and then you have a little bit more of the affordable options that they be over at Placer 1. Now, the Placer 1, you are going to have 4 different communities. You're going to have Glenfield, Northfield, Parkfield, and Deerfield. Some of these homes are going to start off in the high 400K range, and they're going to go all the way up into the mid 600 to low 700K range. So starting $499, under $500K for a brand new home in West Roseville. Now, some of these homes can be as small as 1,250 square feet. They can go all the way up to the low 2,000 square feet mark. But depending on what you're looking for, depending on what you need, there are a lot of affordable housing options with JMC. Now, JMC is a local builder. They're super well trusted in our area, and they're a great option if you're looking for a more affordable option in Roseville. Now, some of the other cool things that JMC does, they do offer owned solar on majority of their homes. I believe all of their homes, they come with owned solar. And then right now, they are also offering a 4.9 30-year fixed interest rate. So Primarily, most of these homes that we've been seeing, 4.99 30-year fixed interest rate. So that's about 1% to 1.5% lower than what you're seeing out in the resale market. So that can be a big difference when you're looking at credits, when you're looking at purchasing a new home. But keep in mind, all of these builders that we're talking about, all of these builders' incentives are going to be tied to using their in-house or affiliated lenders. So keep that in mind. Sometimes you guys are already out there getting pre-approved, talking to your own lender, but if you are wanting to get some of these incentives, get some of these deals, it will be tied to using their own in-house lender. Now, the fourth builder that we're gonna touch on in this video, and another builder that we're gonna take you out to, specifically out in Rancho Cordova, is going to be Beazer. Now, Beazer's incentives are gonna be more tied towards the market rate interest rate, but on some of their quick move-in homes, they are offering 1% below market rate on their interest rate for the fixed 30 years with their in-house lender. And they have communities all over the Sacramento region. So they have the Lily community in Elk Grove, Willow at Winding Creek, Harmony at Roberts Ranch in Vacaville, Poppy Meadows in Elk Grove, Pinnacle at Solaire in Roseville. I'm gonna be specifically taking you out to their Rancho Cordova community, but you are gonna have some pretty killer interest rate buy downs on quick move-in homes. Now, the fifth and final community that we're gonna take you over and give you a tour of is going to be Anthem Properties, specifically the White Hawk community that's out in Granite Bay, that's on their official closeout. Now, keep in mind, at the time of recording this video, we're at the end of December. We're finishing out 2025, heading into 2026. And so this community is having some massive price reductions on quick move-in homes. Now, these are going to be luxury properties. They're going to be priced in that $1.3 to $1.5 million range. They've got 2 model homes left that they're actually reducing the price by $50,000. They're including solar, they're including batteries, they're including the furniture on those model homes. And then they do also have some quick move-in homes that are going to be listed. So their model homes are going to be listed at $1.82 million and $1.51 million for both model homes. Both are going to have over $500,000 worth of options and upgrades that they spec'd out in these model homes, but they are going to be massively reducing and discounting some of these properties by $50,000 to $150,000. Now, they do have some quick move-in properties that aren't as upgraded and optioned out like the models, but some of those are also going to be having some massive discounts. They're going to have $50,000 towards interest rate buy downs. They're going to have own solar. They're going to have the ability to accept offers on those properties. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more luxury, stay tuned, because we are going to feature a killer property at the end of this video that has a killer lot. It's got open green space behind it, plenty of room for a pool, all single story homes with ADUs. They're one of my favorite developments that we ever had in the greater Sacramento region. But primarily, we're seeing all of these builders in the new construction clusters that we've talked about on this channel. So Rockland, Roseville, Folsom, Elk Grove, Rancho Cordova, parts of Lincoln, and parts of El Dorado Hills. But keep in mind, this is where all of our new construction is happening. They're usually happening towards the outskirts of some of these major cities or these anchor cities that we've touched on the channel. But remember that you guys do need to have a real estate agent go out with you on your very first visit. We are going to be able to help you negotiate the best incentives, the best deals, the deepest prices, and get you some great incentives on some of these homes. So now let's flip it over to those home tours, and Lauren's going to take you through that very first one.
All right, so for the first community that we're gonna take you around today, we're gonna be at Richmond American. Now, Richmond American has homes all across the greater Sacramento area. So depending on where you're looking, they probably have a new construction build for you. But specifically today, we're gonna be out here at their newest community in Lincoln, California. Now, the specific name of this community is gonna be Noble at Liberty out here in Lincoln, California. Now, the nice thing about Richmond American is they have some great incentives right now, specifically for permanent rate buy downs. Now, right now, and also at certain times throughout the year, they have rates as low as 3.99 for FHA and VA loans. And then for conventional, they're offering 4.99%. which is huge when you're thinking long-term over the term of a 30-year commitment. Now, this specific community out here in Lincoln has its own clubhouse, which is gonna be called the Farmhouse. It has an awesome outdoor pool. It's gonna have an indoor gym setup and meeting rooms. It's gonna be where this community really goes and gathers and has a good time. It's gonna be a great spot to meet neighbors. So if you're not from around here and you wanna make friends, this might be a great community just because of the sense of community you get with that clubhouse. Now, today, I'm gonna take you through one of my favorite floor plans out here. It's called the Twain. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2,500 square foot home. It is a 2-story. Now let's check it out. So as you first walk into this home, I love that it has the high ceilings, it's big, it's open. You do have your stairs off to the left from the entry of the door, but we'll check out the upstairs later after we check out the downstairs. Now, coming down the hallway to my right is going to be your very first bedroom. This is gonna be perfect for guests. If you have guests, maybe you've got a grandparent that needs to come and stay with you, this is gonna be the perfect spot for that. Or if you're someone who works from home and maybe that fourth bedroom you utilize as an office, this is also a great spot for an office because it's away from everything else. It's gonna be quiet and cozy down here. Now you do have really nice windows that are gonna face out towards the front, out towards the little porch area they have out there. You also have a window coming from the side, so lots of natural light in this space. You've got your standard sliding closet door. It is a pretty decent sized room too, so keep that in mind that if you're using this for an office or a grandparent or maybe an older kiddo, you've got plenty of space for all of your furniture in here. Now, one of the nice things about this floor plan is it does have its own porch. Now, for a long time, we saw builders getting away from porches, but you do get a really nice covered front porch area. Perfect if you've got kids maybe riding their bikes and you want to hang out front and watch them. Great on those Halloween nights as you've got trick-or-treaters coming by. But just a really nice detail to this floor plan is having that front covered patio area. All right, now as we walk further back, you are gonna have a full bathroom down here. You're gonna have your sink vanity, your toilet, and then a standard just walk-in shower. Again, you do have high ceilings throughout this first floor, which is really, really nice, creating that bigger, spacious spot. And then across from that, you're gonna have your coat closet, great for storage. And then coming back towards the back of the home, you're gonna have this really big, great room concept. So you've got this awesome big living room over here, lots of natural light with windows, a big window that faces towards the backyard and looks out into your covered patio. Then coming over this way is going to be your massive kitchen. You get this great big kitchen island, which I absolutely love. Perfect for the holidays if you're doing holiday baking or Thanksgiving. You can set up all the goods right here, plenty of space. A pretty big spacious kitchen. You've got really nice GE appliances. And one of the nice things about this home is pretty much everything you're seeing is going to be what you're getting. There are no head fakes in here, which we really, really like. And then, as always, one of my favorite things is you do have a legitimate pantry. But just a really nice kitchen over here. And then towards the back side of the kitchen, you've got your dining room. Now, I love how this floor plan, the dining room isn't squished between the kitchen and the living room. I love that it has its own unique space over here. You do have a nice slider on this side of the room that's gonna walk out to your covered patio. And just, you can really kind of see outside. You do get a big, nice covered patio, plenty of space for maybe a table, maybe some small outside sectionals, but you've got plenty of space out here to hang out, enjoy the nice spring and summer and fall, and heck, even winter when it's not crazy cold. Plenty of space to enjoy your outdoor living. Now, one of the things that I absolutely love about this Twain floor plan is that this is one of the only homes that comes standard with this covered patio. So you're not gonna see a massive upcharge. Some builders charge $30,000 to $40,000 for a covered patio like this, but it's really nice that this is actually a standard built into the home. So if you want that awesome outdoor living lifestyle, that space to hang out outside, and you don't wanna pay a pretty penny for it, this is probably gonna be the best floor plan for you. Let's go check out the upstairs. All right, now when you first come upstairs, you're gonna notice you have this nice little landing spot, and then all the way up towards the front corner of the home, you're gonna have this nice little loft right here. Perfect for a great play space for kiddos, maybe a little movie room spot, or just a cool hangout spot for your teenagers, or a cool study spot. But this is a really nice addition to actually have this space instead of it just being open. This is a really cool spot, a great extra living room spot since you have the great room style downstairs. Kind of gives you that extra space for maybe kids to hang out. Lots of natural lighting still. You still have the high ceilings up here, which I absolutely love. Now, coming down further, this is gonna be your laundry room space. So not super big, but definitely enough space to get the job done. The nice thing about this is that it is upstairs, so you're not carting your laundry downstairs, but perfect kind of spot for this upstairs to be centrally located. And then coming back to this corner is gonna be your first secondary bedroom upstairs. So still a lot of space in here. You know, they have a decent sized bed. You've got some pretty big furniture in here. Nice windows, you know, window facing towards the back, another small window that faces towards the side. But just really a lot of space in here. Heck, if you needed 2 kids to share a room, you really have space in this spot. All right, now coming out of that bedroom into the next spot, you're gonna have a bathroom that's gonna separate that bedroom from the next secondary bedroom. Now coming in here, you've got a nice big counter space. You've got double sinks, which is great if you've got 2 kids that are maybe in each of these rooms. You don't have anybody fighting over the sink space. Then you're gonna have your standard shower over tub, toilet, but definitely enough space for your kiddos to share a bathroom. All right, now coming out of the bathroom, we're gonna go into the next secondary bedroom. So this is gonna be opposite of that last one. It's gonna be in the other back corner of the home. Still plenty of space, pretty big, spacious bedroom. You are gonna have your standard sliding closet door over here. This room's gonna be a little bit darker than that first secondary bedroom we went in, just because it only has one window that's gonna be cornered on that side of the room. But the nice thing about that is you still have plenty of ways that you can kind of play with furniture in here. So this is a great spot if maybe you've got a younger kid that you want to keep close to your primary bedroom. They have it set up as a nursery. So, you know, if you've got a toddler or an infant, this would be a great room for them because it's super easy, quick access to get over to that primary. So let's go check out the primary. All right, now before we get to the primary, this is gonna be your linen closet. So I love that they thought through storage in this home. This is actually pretty deep, like it goes back pretty far. So you could store all of your linens in here. Heck, you could store your vacuum in here since the upstairs is mainly carpeted, but definitely a big spot for linen and extra storage upstairs. And then coming in towards this primary, this is a massive room. So you can just kind of see behind me, you've got this big king size bed with some big nightstands, big furniture. And then over on this side of the room, you have like this whole kind of like open spot. You've got a spot for a couch by another window. So you could do a little seating area. You know, maybe if you've got a younger family and you've got an infant, you could put a little bed over there so they are actually in your room before you transition them out of the room. So many options of things that you can do in this space. Maybe you've got 2 people that work from home and the bedroom downstairs is going to be an office. You could even put a little office space up here and you still get lots of natural lighting with all of the windows that are going to face towards the front of this home. Now coming towards the back corner, you're gonna have your primary bathroom. You're gonna have a double vanity sink over here. You're gonna have your walk-in shower. Lots of space in here. It's not cramped or squished. Still a pretty nice size. You've got your water closet over here. The really nice thing about the water closet is they include a window in this room. It's not super small and high up, so you do have a lot of natural light coming into this little small space. Over here, you're gonna have another linen closet. So you know, you don't have to run out to that hall closet to get your towels, which is really great. And then all the way towards the back, you're gonna have this decent size walk-in closet. You know, this is pretty standard to what you get. You get the 2 hanging bars, but definitely a lot of space if you wanna add some closet organization in here and really utilize the square footage of this walk-in closet. All right, so that was the twin out here in Lincoln at Noble at Liberty. Now this is going to be the Richmond American floor plan. I absolutely love this floor plan, probably my favorite floor plan across all of Richmond American. I just love how they utilize and design the space here. Now again, they have some killer incentives that we spoke about a little bit earlier. So if you're interested in something like this, definitely reach out to us.
All right, guys, and for our second home that we're gonna take you through a tour on, we are actually out here in Rancho Cordova. We are at the Beezer community, the Arista community. It is super nice. We're gonna take you through one of our favorite floor plans, and honestly, one of your guys' favorite floor plans, which is going to be the Maple. Now, this is gonna be a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2492 square foot home. Now, this one's gonna be a little bit different of a tour because it will be me by myself, so I'm gonna flip the camera around here real quick. All right, so coming up to the front entryway, I really love how this looks. You definitely got the Spanish tile elevation. The cool thing about Beezer as we walk inside to this home is going to be the fact that Beezer is known for its energy efficiency. So we'll touch on a couple of things as we're seeing them through the house, but you'll see a couple of these discs that are up towards the ceilings. Some of those are going to be fire suppression systems. Others are going to be how they disperse the heating and air in this home. So First off, as you walk in, you really got this nice tall, probably 12-foot ceilings. So sometimes in 2-story homes, they can feel kind of clustered and cramped. So a couple of things that I really like, definitely you got the nice wide entryway for the bathroom. And then you've got a bedroom that is right down off of the main level. So this is a great opportunity for, a downstairs office. This is also a great opportunity if you are going to have maybe mom and dad live with you, grandma and grandpa live with you, or you're going to have some family or friends visit. It's really nice that you have that downstairs bathroom that's right outside of this bedroom. So beautiful. You've got some kind of rock stone for the flooring, quartz countertops, and then you've got a nice shower with a small lip to get into the shower, which is really nice for the elderly population. Now, this is going to be your main bathroom for your guests, so you do want to make sure that if it is going to be a kid that's going to be down in this bedroom, that they are a clean kid and they aren't going to be a little dirtball. So right off of that, you have a coat closet. Now, this coat closet has a nice little storage area, and then they did a really good job of, turning this into like maybe a kid's reading corner, which is super cool. You got some beanbag chairs down here, but usually kids, when they find the understair storage, they absolutely love it. But you got ample coat storage. You also have kind of the Costco closet if you want to. And then turning around, you are gonna have your stairs that are gonna go up to the second level. Like I said, as we get a little bit closer to some of these discs, you can see they're kind of throughout the entire house. It's meant to evenly disperse air throughout the home, so it helps with energy efficiency. But the first thing that I love about this room is just these finishes that they chose. You've got really nice hard surface flooring. You've got your dining room table that's right here in the middle. You've got 3 pendant lights over the kitchen countertop, and you've got sink in the island. So the cool thing is with Beazer, you actually have a couple of choice plans, right? You have 2 different kitchen configurations. Some people like the kitchen sink in the island. Others like the kitchen sink over in the other cabinet facing the backyard. So again, you have a lot of ample space. This is an all electric community, so you are gonna notice some Whirlpool appliance, electric cooktop. You've got the stainless steel apron sink. Now this one is configured with the kitchen sink and the island, but you can configure the kitchen where you can put the kitchen sink over there. Now, right around this corner, you're gonna have your entrance in from the garage. You're gonna have your kind of little landing spot. I think I'd almost rather prefer to have this kind of open so I can put one kind of those, shoe catch-all for coats and purses and all that stuff, but lots of cabinets. I love how the cabinets go all the way up towards the top of the ceiling. And then you have a lot of countertop space over here. So you can do the other kitchen configuration if you want to. You can also have all of your coffee pots and things that are kind of tucked away, air fryer, things like that. And then back here, of course, Lauren's favorite is the pantry. So plenty of space. You got a lot of stuff that you can put in here. Lots of shelves, lots of space up top. And then you've got the nice frosted door, which is always a nice elegant touch. So the cool thing is if you had the kitchen sink right here, you can look, you can see your kids in the backyard. These are decent sized lots, guys. So these are pretty comparable to what you would actually be getting. So nice thing is you have one major living room space. You have lots of windows. You have 2 windows that frame both your TVs. You have a lot of windows that face your backyard, big slider. So lots of natural light, lots of space in here, guys. And Beazer always puts together a really good product. So let's go check out the upstairs because you got a ton of awesome living space up there and some pretty cool features that I want to talk about. So now we're going to be heading upstairs. So cool thing is when you get to this kind of turn or this switchback, you've got some choices for some open stair railing. And the first thing right out of the gate is you have your kind of loft living room space. So they have this set up for, kid space, study session. You got a couch, it's kind of more, dedicated for that kid space, but we've seen a lot of people turn this into a movie room, study room, extra space for the kids, play space for the kids. It's really good for, keeping and containing the mess upstairs. And then again, so you see these little white things and that black one in the middle, but those are also the air registers for the home. Now, the cool thing is about these, the way Beazer does some of the things in the house is all about energy efficiency. So more energy efficiency, building materials, different things like the registers downstairs, all of that stuff is different because they're trying to be more energy efficient. So super cool stuff. Beazer is definitely ahead of its time for some of the energy efficiency upgrades that you have, but super cool. There's one more thing that I want to show you guys though. So flipping this camera back around, we are coming to the hallway. Now, you are going to have 3 bedrooms upstairs. We're going to save the primary bedroom for last. So the first room outside of the primary is going to be the laundry room. Now, the cool thing is this is a pretty big space. So you've got some upper cabinets right there. You've got your washer and dryer, and then you've got your media panel. I love when they put the media panel, is screwed closed, but I love when they put the media panel in the laundry room as opposed to the master closet. Now, behind this door is going to be your, not your technology, but more of your mechanical closet. So Beazer puts all of this stuff inside of the house because it's better temperature regulated. So on a day like today where it's super cold, this thing doesn't have to work as hard to heat the house. And then same thing in the summertime when the attics are hot, it just makes it a little bit more energy efficient. So everything's not working super hard in the summertime and the wintertime. So definitely a nice touch. I absolutely love it. So flipping this back around, directly across the way from the laundry room, you have your first secondary bedroom. Now these are pretty big secondary bedrooms. You have nice and tall ceilings up top, so you're not having to deal with kind of that claustrophobia that comes with a 2-story house. This one only has 1 window facing the front of the house. But again, you still get some pretty natural light. It's a cloudy day today, so not super bad. And then each one of these secondary bedrooms actually has a nice little walk-in closet. So super nice, definitely a little bit more space for storage than the downstairs bedroom, but you have a lot of room. And then coming out of this bedroom, hanging a left, we've got another linen cabinet right here, which is, again, towels, sheets, board games, anything that you want to store upstairs that you want it to have its own space. And then this one's actually my favorite room out of the secondaries, just because you have really nice windows. You have one window that faces towards the front of the house. You have another window that faces towards the side. So you have lots of stuff out here. You got plenty of views for days, but you have a little bit more natural light. And this room, similar to the other room, also has a walk-in closet. So really nice that you have the availability to, you know, have a walk-in closet for a kid. The other thing that I'll really note, because of the height of the ceiling, right, you have a lot of room. So if you had to do bunk beds in here, if you had to put them over in the corner, or if you had to have 2 kids that were sharing a room, you have plenty of space for that. You have plenty of space. You got a pretty beefy, dresser over here. It's got a desk. You've got a nightstand on the other side, and this is like a full-size bed. So these rooms are actually definitely pretty big. And then lastly, you've got the double vanity sink in here. I'm gonna get into a better spot where you guys can see the vanity sink without seeing my giant head. But you got dual vanity sink. You got your shower over tub over here, which is nice. You got an insert, nice and tall. And then you also have a water closet. Now, most of the time I like it when the shower and water closet are attached with a separate room, but you still have plenty of space, and kids, even though, you know, this is still all in one area, it's still gonna be plenty of bathroom for a bigger family, a family of 4 with multiple kids. Now let's check out that primary suite, because this is probably one of my favorite primary suites. And again, Beazer just does a really good job with all of this. So this is gonna be back towards the front, so closer to the upstairs living area, but big room. You've got 2 chairs. I don't ever really understand people who have chairs at the base of their bed, but really nice. But you got a pretty decent room. So this is a king size bed. I'm here at the end of the king size bed, and you still have all of this space to your left. So you have plenty of room for a big TV. You have plenty of room for dressers, multiple dressers. And then decent size, because these are both kind of like double wide nightstands on either side. But I love how you have a ton of natural light. You have this big picturesque window that faces towards the backyard. You can see your kids playing if you need to down there. And then you have 2 windows that frame either side of the bed. So again, lots of natural light, lots of options that you can do here. You've got fire suppression, you've got the air register vents up there. And then the cool thing is, This one also has a choice plan. So you can do one of two options. You can actually have your bathtub and shower, and then double vanity sinks over here, or you can choose to split the sinks and elect not to have a bathtub. But I like the bathtub. It feels great on a nice cold day, or if you're super sick. I think anytime I get sick, I always miss not having a bathtub in our primary. But really nice finishes. You got a quartz surround. Coming back over this way, you got the dual vanity sinks. Right, nice tile options. So Beazer definitely does put together a really nice home. You've got your water closet that's separated from everything else. And then you have a plenty big closet where you can share space with your wife. I know Lauren always makes the joke of, you know, this is a female closet, never enough space for the male, but let's be entirely honest. She doesn't have enough clothes to fill up this closet anyway, so plenty of space for both the husband and the wife. But stay tuned, because we are going to be showcasing one more home. We're going to be talking about why it's important to have a real estate agent with you guys on your first visit to some of these developments, so you can find out about some of these deals. But this was Beazer out in Rancho Cordova. They have a few different communities that we touched on a little bit earlier in this video, but definitely an awesome builder, definitely some killer incentives. All right, let's finish this off. All right, we are out here at our final tour of the day. We are out in Granite Bay, California at the White Hawk community by Anthem Properties in Granite Bay, California. Now this community is closing out. They are on their last 5 to 10 homes. They've got 2 models that they're available, but we're gonna take you through. I'm gonna show you part of the home, then Lauren's gonna finish off and show you some of the main parts of the home. And this home has a killer backyard. So let's go check it out. But the first thing that I wanna touch on is these homes have their own entry unit. They have their own ADU section of the home. So we're gonna take you through, we're gonna show you some of that, but I do love the fact that there's their own separate entrance to get into the house. But let's go check out the rest of the home. All right, so this is gonna be their Plan 3 floor plan. It's gonna be 3,407 square feet. It's gonna be 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, 3-car garage. I'm gonna show you everything that's gonna be on this half of the house, and then we're gonna flip it around and Lauren's gonna show you everything that's gonna be on the second half of the house. And then make sure that you stick around, because this backyard is absolutely killer. This is actually a home that you guys can purchase today. So to my left, you're gonna have one of your first secondary bedrooms, and you're gonna have one of your half bathrooms. So this is gonna be super nice. This is gonna be right off of your entryway, and this is gonna be your main half bathroom that's gonna be for all of your guests that come to visit you in your home, come over for Super Bowl games. Coming into this room is going to be your first secondary bedroom. Now, this home is going to have a ton of natural light. You're gonna have 3 windows that are gonna face towards the front of the house. You're gonna have a few windows that are gonna face towards the side. Now, this house is super unique in the sense that it's kind of secluded by itself. So pretty much almost all the way around this house, almost 360-degree view, you're gonna have kind of this wooded forest preserve area that's never gonna be built on. So super nice. The other thing that I really love about all of these bedrooms is that they all have their own ensuite bathroom. So this has beautiful quartz countertops. You have your toilet in there. You have a nice walk-in shower with a low lip, so it's nice and easier for guests. And it's single story, so you don't have to worry about stairs. But this is a pretty decent sized room. This is a little over 13 by 13 feet, and you have a ton of natural light, nice and tall ceilings. If you needed to double up on kids, you could, but this room definitely doesn't feel cramped. So coming out this way, we're gonna shoot across the hall, and we're gonna go across to kind of that ADU entryway. So to my right, your left is going to be the first stop, which is going to be the laundry room. Now this is a pretty decent sized laundry room. You have beautiful upper cabinets. You can already start to see kind of the tonality of the cabinet color. You've got nice quartz in here as well too, and plenty of space for your front loaders. And the nice thing is here behind this door is gonna be your media panel. So that's gonna be super nice. Now at the end of this hall, we don't typically get to go check out some of the garages, but you do have another coat closet right here, which is nice. You have a nice little landing area that you can also hang backpacks and bags and purses and put place for your shoes. Coming in here is gonna be the garage. Now this is a 3-car tandem. You have nice tall ceilings. You have a nice tall garage. So if you have a lifted truck or if you have extra space that you need it, heck, you could put a golf simulator out here. I know I've been trying to get Lauren to let me do one of those. But you also are gonna have the Tesla Powerwall. So these homes are gonna come with own solar. So super nice, super cool, and you're gonna get a Tesla Powerwall. Now coming back into the house, we're gonna hang a quick left. This is gonna kind of be the ADU part of the home. So this is gonna be kind of that main bedroom area for this part of the home. You do have your sliding closet doors. You have nice and tall ceilings. You're gonna have another full bathroom that's gonna be in here with a toilet, quartz countertop sink, and a standing shower stall. And then up here, this one's gonna be a little bit more unique, but this is gonna be just kind of built towards having that kind of living room area. So there's not gonna be any kind of countertop or cooking in here, but you definitely could put that in if you really wanted to, but you could have a nice little seating area, a living room. This is gonna be great for grandma and grandpa, parents that have to live with you, but it's super nice, super easy. And it's going to be dedicated towards the front of the house. So you still have 3 nice big windows that are going to be facing towards the driveway, and you have your own entry into the outside from this part of the house too. So super nice, super independent, and it's attached to the house. So Lauren's going to show you the rest of the house, and we're going to flip it around.
All right, so to finish it off, let's check out the second part of this house. Now this is probably my favorite area in all of this house. I love this kitchen space. So coming back towards the center of the home is going to be this massive kitchen with this huge island that has no wasted space. You've got tons of cabinets all around this island. You've got gorgeous upgraded cafe appliances, which are absolutely stunning. You've got the really nice big industrial size hood up here. So you could do some real damage here. You could burn a whole turkey or whatever, and it would all suck all of it up. And then walking further back this way, you're gonna have this really killer walk-in pantry. So I love how big this is. It goes all the way around, wraps all the way around, tons of shelves, tons of space in here for everything. You don't have to have anything on your countertops out here if you don't want it. Now walking this way, one of the nice things about these kitchens is that they all come with these beautiful refrigerators. So a lot of times this is a big hefty price that maybe you have to install after you move in, but it's really nice that the builder actually finished everything in here, and this is gonna be ready for you on day 1 when you move in. Now coming back this way, you're also gonna have this really nice fireplace feature right here. Now it's not gonna put out a ton of heat, but it definitely is a focal point to this room. I love the colors that they chose here with the gray that kind of ties it in with the lighter gray cabinets and the really nice mantelpiece, also framed with your cabinets on the side and your display sections on the side of the fireplace, really making this a great focal point. But you can just see how big this room really is. There's tons of space for everything in here. Like Lance told you at the beginning of this home tour, this home has 5 bedrooms, and so far we've only seen 2 of them. So there is gonna be a primary on that side of the home that's gonna be kind of secluded by itself, and then back on this wing of the home, which we're gonna go check out next, is gonna be where all of the other bedrooms are. So heading that way, you're gonna walk down this really nice hallway. So we're gonna go towards the back of the home down that hallway. This is gonna be not a bedroom, this is actually gonna be like an extra living room area, could be an office, could be where your teenagers hang out, maybe a playroom for your kids that kind of keeps everything out of the way. But one thing I love about this space is all of the windows. There's so much natural lighting in here. It's really, really beautiful. You've got a great view to the backyard out to that wooded area. If you put a pool back here, you'd have a view of the pool, maybe a nice water feature, but just a really, really cool spot with lots of great windows, great options in this room. Now the other thing that they did do is they did pre-wire this for your TV setup. So if this was gonna be maybe a second living room, you could put your big screen here. You have everything already all dialed and ready to go. Now, walking back down this hallway before we turn the corner, this is gonna be a nice linen closet. There's a ton of storage throughout this entire home. So let's go down this hallway, check out those other bedrooms. Now, we're gonna go off towards my left, your right. This is gonna be the next set of the secondary bedrooms. Now, this is gonna be 1 bedroom. It is gonna be split by the other bedroom with a Jack and Jill bathroom. So some people we know absolutely love the Jack and Jill setup. You don't always see them, but you do get that in this home. You're gonna have a decent sized room here. You're gonna have 1 window that's gonna face towards the side and your sliding closet door here. Now we're gonna walk through the bathroom to get to that other bedroom. All right, now walking through this bathroom, the nice thing is each bedroom is gonna have its own sink and vanity setup. So the bedrooms aren't sharing the sink, which is really nice. If you've got kids that fight over the sink, brushing their teeth. Maybe you have multiple girls. This is gonna be a great setup. Now, walking further back, you're gonna have a door that's gonna separate your water closet and the shower over tub space. So this would be the shared space between these two rooms. All right, then coming back further, this is gonna be your second vanity sink right here. So that's gonna be for the other bedroom. Now walking out, you're gonna come into the next bedroom. So this bedroom is gonna be faced a little bit differently. You're gonna have your sliding closet doors on that side. This room is gonna have 2 windows, so a little bit more lighting in here, maybe a little bit more space to put a bigger bed that would be framed by those 2 windows. You still have the high ceilings throughout this entire home, but this kind of section is like the perfect little wing for your kids. Maybe you've got older kids, but this is a great spot that kind of keeps them away from everything, keeps all of their mess on this one side of the house. It's kind of like its own kid wing. All right, now we're gonna walk back across the main living here, go check out that primary bedroom. Now, before we get to the primary bedroom, you are gonna have another linen closet right here, so tons of storage throughout this house. And then the back corner is gonna be that owner's retreat. So you're gonna have a decent size bedroom right here. Again, tons of windows that are gonna stare out towards the wooded areas. You are also gonna have, I love this feature, a door that's gonna walk out towards your backyard, which is perfect if you put a pool in, maybe you wanna go hit the spa if you've got a spa outside, but it's great that you can just go outside, come back into your primary retreat. All right, so let's check out that master bathroom. The master bathroom is absolutely beautiful here. Lots of attention to detail. I love the hexagon tiles that they put in. I love how much lighting you get right here with this big window that's gonna be framed over this soaking tub. You also have a really cool vanity spot right here. So, you know, you can have all of your makeup stuff put away in the drawers, a great spot with lots of great lighting. And your water closet's gonna be back towards the front, and then coming back this way, you're gonna have this beautiful shower. I love the tile work that they did in here. This thing is pretty big, it's pretty massive. You've got the handheld, you have the regular faucet. You've got just a lot of space in here. Heck, 2 people could shower at one time if they needed to. And then towards the very back is going to be that walk-in closet. So again, this is a huge space. It's practically as big as one of the kids' bedrooms. You've got plenty of space to hang all of your stuff. You could come do a closet organization thing in here and really utilize or maximize the space even more. But this home is gonna have everything you need. You know, next thing we're gonna do is go check out that backyard, that cool outdoor living space. You're gonna love it. All right, so walking out from the primary bedroom is gonna be this nice California room. It's also gonna have access from the great room over there with the big slider. You've got plenty of space right here to put a big table, maybe some outdoor sectionals. You do have can lighting up above, also a pre-wire for a fan. And then you have this beautiful backyard blank slate where you could put a pool in, you could do a garden. There's so many options to do with this backyard, but I love that the back fence is open. I love that you don't back to anybody on that side. You really don't back to anybody on the other side either for quite a while. So you've got plenty of view, beautiful space, just gives you that natural wooded look. So even though this is a pretty big backyard with that open railing fence, it gives it the feeling of being even bigger than what it is without you having to maintain all of it.
All right, guys, so that was 3 amazing home tours that you can purchase right now in 2025 going into 2026, and you can still get some killer incentives. Sometimes you can get some permanent or temporary rate buy downs, and you can still get some money off of the purchase price or towards your closing costs. Heck, some of these model homes, you can actually get all of the furniture included.
But this is where we want to make sure we remind you that all of these builders require us to be with you on your very first visit. Now, a lot of times these builders aren't going to tell you about the deals up front or the potential negotiations that you can do. So it is very, very important that you guys reach out to us, because we do know all of these builders. We've helped tons of people buy in these communities, and we know exactly where we can push them, and sometimes push them even more than what they're willing to tell you. So make sure you reach out, because we would love to help you guys find your dream home and get it at the best possible deal.
So that phone number is going to be popping up. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, and text message, and we absolutely love it when we get to help you guys move or relocate to the greater Sacramento metro. So that phone number is up. Call, text, or email, or better yet, scan the QR code to schedule your one-on-one Zoom call. And if you're just not ready for that yet, we have an app. We have tons of resources for you guys to download, and we will be keeping you updated on all of the new construction coming to the Sacramento metro in 2026.